Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
You are most welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for more updates, like and also share to other members to watch as well. Please, your comments are most important to us. Do leave a comment after watching or send us your voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277 128 777. Thank you. Please, I would like you to join me listening to what we have for you today and leave a comment after watching as well. Thank you.
Mr. Pratt.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to commend Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, Honorable Ricketts Hagen, and the many other people who have joined this struggle to ensure that those we elect to manage state assets do not leave office with those assets in their pockets. Clearly, the issue at stake is not whether or not the state hotels are being properly sold or improperly sold. That's not the issue. It is not the issue. The issue is not whether or not they've been properly valued or undervalued or overvalued. That's a non-issue in this discussion. The principal issue is that people we elect into office to manage public assets should not leave office with those public assets in their back pocket. Finish. It is not complicated at all. It's a very simple issue. And this morning, to be quite honest with you, I've seen my brother Nee struggling all over the place and so on. The issue is so simple. It's not as complicated as you want to make it look. We have elected a government. Make sure, the mandate of every government is to make sure the state assets are so well managed that they are able to provide resources or multiply resources for the satisfaction of the needs of our people, for the realization of the aspirations of our people. Finish. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? So, here are hotels owned by SNAIT. Under no circumstances should these hotels be transferred to public office holders. That's all. That's all. You understand? Now, the argument about whether this is being bought by Brian Achampong or by Rock City Hotel and so on is so pedestrian. We don't even have to go there at all. Yes, it is true that in law, the company is not its owner and so on. But who are the beneficiary owners of the companies? That's the bottom line. You understand? It is clear that the disposal of public assets are decisions which ultimately will end up in cabinet. Okay? Especially in this particular case. So, whether or not there's a conflict of interest he knew or didn't know and so on is completely irrelevant. His position as a member of the cabinet should disqualify him from acquiring those assets. Finished. Nothing more or less. I hope it's very clear. Nothing more or less. Now, I'm worried about a certain development. And that development is simply about what others have described as state capture. It's not just about the state hotels. It's about many things. It's about how the vigilance of our people stopped the privatization of the Electricity Company of Ghana. That's one of the key issues in this discussion. This discussion is about how, in a twinkle of an eye, government bungalows, have ended up in the hands of elected officials. And for me, it's an eyesore. If you go to cantonments, what is happening there is an eyesore. Government bungalows being broken down, monstrous structures being built and so on. And if you ask questions, change of ownership has changed from the state to individuals who have entrusted with responsibility for managing the state. That's a problem. It's a huge problem. I mean, my brother, Mr. Apia Dankwa, linked it up to even the recruitment of persons into the security services and so on. Yes, it is linked. It is state capture, it is linked. I mean, one of the things which I found most horrifying happened last week. When we woke up one morning and were told that the National Investigations Bureau has conducted an opinion poll to help the New Patriotic Party decide on who should be the running mate. I mean, I was so shocked. You understand? And I asked very simple questions. Has this survey been done for the NDC? Has the National Investigations Bureau found it necessary to help the NDC decide who the best running mate should be? Has it done the same for the Convention People's Party? Has it done the same for the People's National Convention and so on? And mind you, these surveys cost resources. Those resources belong to the state. So when those resources are expended for a political party and so on, it does raise many ethical questions and so on. Okay? So that ought to be our worry. Yes, there has been a massive demonstration. Many people attended that demonstration. That demonstration is an expression of the outrage of the public. And I noticed that the people who participated in that demonstration came from the Ghana Federation of Labour, they came from the TUC, they came from other organized labor sources and so on. Okay? But is that the remedy? That is not the remedy. That is a way of drawing attention to the problem. But eventually the remedy is to put in place measures which stops elected public officials from grabbing state assets. And that is why I'm happy that there is talk of some legislation coming up to stop political office holders from taking over these assets. You understand? Now, again, the issue of privatization of state and public enterprises comes up again. Look, we know of what the Nkrumah government did, the import substitution program and so on. We know of the numerous factories which were built. At a certain stage, Ghana was producing television sets, radio sets, refrigerators, deep freezers, what have you? Matches, cutlasses, and so on. Today, as a result of reckless privatization of public assets, all of these factories and so on have collapsed. They have collapsed. Indeed, the only enterprises who survived privatization are two hotels. Golden Tulip, which is now Lancaster, and Ambassador Moving Peak Hotel. So clearly, that argument that these enterprises thrive better in private labor and so on, the state machinery cannot find managers for a hotel like Labadi Beach Hotel. You mean the whole government structure cannot find people who manage Labadi Beach Hotel? Now, if they cannot manage Labadi Beach Hotel, can they manage Jubilee House? What can they manage if they cannot manage Labadi Beach Hotel? That's a problem. I do hope, and I have confidence, that this struggle will ultimately lead to a sanitization. Having started contributing to SNIT in 1974, from 1974 all the way up to 1987. The value of my contributions is 10 cedis. Less than 10 cedis, I think. I decided to forget about it. It's not worth anything. So this is what we are talking about. You understand? This is what we are talking about. And I do not wish to make any more comments.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So what I'll do is I'll go through a few comments that have been made by those of you who are watching us and listening to us before we move on to the next discussion. Musa Batwa says, let's call a spade and not a big spoon. God bless people like Honorable Kujato Ablakwa and those who have demonstrated against the sale of SNIT asset. Honorable Ablakwa has consistently exposed corruption and Akufo-Addo and Bawumia's leadership with substantial evidence. His unwavering commitment to fighting for Ghana and standing up against the hawks in our political system is truly commendable. The Finama here says, Sana, if they said those hotels are not doing well, that is why they sold them, then what about state transport? That's STC. That's also doing worse. And the SNIT owns 80% in state transport. That's performing badly. But they rather went for the hotels that are making profit, as we were told. Thank you for that message. This one, okay, some more messages from Abbas Amogobo in Ofingso. Says, good morning. God will never allow Dr. Bawumia to scam Ghanaians again. Look at how difficult it's taking him to choose just a running mate. This is the man who called Mahama so many names, including being incompetent and indecisive. His disgrace is just near. That's Abbas Amogobo's focus this morning. Then there's Habib Bantus in Italy, who says, good morning. If Brian Ichampo has so much money to buy SNIT hotels, why don't he go somewhere else and build new hotels like Ross City? Conflict of interest and state capture is the order of the day under the mother serpent of corruption. It's only in Ghana, when you fight corruption, it fires back at you. President Akufo-Addo and Bawumia government shall go down in history as the most corrupt government in Ghana ever had. We remember how Akufo-Addo added $800 million to the Ameri deal, if not for the vigilance of the NDC in Parliament. We shall never forget PDS and the wanton grabbing of state lands, including Cecilia Dapa's money in her bedroom. 2024 elections is an opportunity to put this corrupt government out of power and reclaim everything stolen from us Ghanaians. GM come and rescue us. We can't breathe. Beep sent that. There's Angelo who says, as an individual and at this stage, I think I need some vigorous education. What is it that is in state assets that MPP politicians always desire to subvert to themselves? Ghana still has empty beaches, and well-wishers who wanted to invest can go and acquire and do same, as the government did in the case of La Beach Hotel and others. I still don't know what the interests really are. That's Angelo who sent that one. Prince Henry Koforidua says, in fact, Nana Akufo-Addo aka the mother serpent of corruption, doesn't respect Ghanaians at all, because if it does, I don't think he would sanction this Onchendi SML deal again. The only way to seek accountability from the MP government led by Nana Bawumia is by voting them out. Thank you very much for that message. Davisana says, good morning. In discussions on the mafia acquisition of state hotels by Brani Champon, are you also thinking about the fact that he could well be acting as a front for, he mentions the president and Achim Mafia? Let's shine our eyes. So this has come up consistently in most of the comments I'm seeing this morning. In fact, one of the things you can easily do is, I dare you to just pick an Uber or a taxi and let the driver drive you around Cantonments and be asking the driver, who owns this? Who owns this? You see the names they mention. You'll be amazed at the kind of information that people share with you when you are sitting in a car not saying anything. They are telling you who is building this, who is building that, who is pulling this down to build this, who this belongs to, who that belongs to, around, especially the Cantonments area. It's amazing. We'll move on to...
Thank you for staying to PENDREAM TV. Really appreciate your time. Please, if you have not yet subscribed as a new member, please do so for us. Hit the notification bell, like, and also share to other members to watch as well. Make sure you share to other members on your contact list or on your group chats. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.